All right, everybody, welcome back to Champions of the Fog. I'm going to be your host today, littlerugaard, and joining me today in their debut, we have the fantastic pair, JuniKoh. JuniKoh, how are you today?
We're doing great.
We are fantastic.
It's lovely to be here with you.
We are super excited to be here with you.
If you guys couldn't tell already, it's a duo. They are... Go check them out. We'll plug them at the end of the stream, but they're fantastic. I think we're going to have a wonderful time here. We've got a fantastic match. I'm saying fantastic a lot. I apologize. I need to get a dictionary, a thesaurus to update my outdated vocabulary. But we have on Dead Dog Saloon today, we have How Did We Get There versus Mirage. And I believe they are going to be playing the Cannibal first off. So, JuniKoh, do you have any experiences with Cannibal that you'd like to talk about?
Oh, God. So many.
So
Cannibal
many.
Happens to be one of my personal I'm JuniKoh.
And I'm JuniKoh215.
And when our powers combine, we form
JuniKoh.
We're sisters. And Cannibal is probably used to be one of my least favorite killers. But then I started playing Basement Guard the Chest Bubba. And now I'm slowly turning around on that.
That's quite a 180. Also, that wasn't your intro when I introduced you? That's such a good intro.
Have you never heard us do that?
Rugaard.
Oh, I have. I'm just saying I was expecting that when I introduced you.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
No,
I
you're
wouldn't have done it so half-heartedly just now.
I am totally pulling your leg. It is an unspoken rule that when it's a person or a cast first time on the air, we have to drag them through the mud a little bit, make them feel a little bit uncomfortable. Because here's the thing: when you come on, you're gonna be kind of stiff, and you're like, oh, and you have to drag them out of their shell, which usually means you'd make them uncomfortable, and then they realize it's fine, and then after that it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so then we will anticipate that.
Okay.
And we will be prepared to dish it back to you.
Fantastic. Again, that's like the third time I've said that. I've said fantastic way too many times. I'm just banning the word fantastic. I'm not allowed to use it the rest of the day. Oh man, I've got like 16 games to go through. Why did I just ban the word fantastic? Oh well. Anyway, so we do have what seems to be a mostly ready lobby. Did I say this correctly? I believe we have a lobby. So we'll be heading into the game shortly here. I'm sure the ref will yell at me if we load it in too early. But I don't know about you. I have seen a lot of games on Dead Dog Saloon specifically with Cannibal that end up just being an absolute dumpster fire of a game where the Bubba just takes them to the basement because it's always in that center area.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, what are you supposed to do? Like the game's like that map is already, especially if you get the 3-gen in the back, it's already mostly killer sided. And then you just have a killer that just nope, I own this area. Good luck.
And either location that the basement is not great for survivors because the shack has 2 doors, one which can be kicked in.
Mm-hmm.
And then either that or you're at the saloon. And when you come out of the basement at saloon, there's not a lot there to work with as a survivor.
True.
And especially with a Bubba,
I mean, unless you're running balanced landing and you can immediately turn right and go up to the balcony and jump off and make some headway, you really don't have much to go off.
Yeah, generally you have the lithe and the balance user on the saloon, and then on the gallows you have the balance user. Balance, again, comp teams make really good work of making their exhaustion perks situational and placing them in very specific locations. And honestly, I think that's why Dead Dog Saloon is loved so much, despite the fact that it can be a small map and it's kind of rough. It still works out. And I will say that we are already loaded into the game, so we're going to head right on over here.
And we do have a balanced landing, I see.
We do.
Interesting.
And it is in fact a Bubba. I just realized my cover is not quite covering these perks. Give me just a second. Again, scuff stream, I apologize. There we go. You can't see anything now. You see nothing. Just ignore if you saw anything. I apologize. I meant to set this earlier, but the settings changed. I apologize. All right, we're in now. And so we have Momo, who is our killer. They haven't, like, it's almost 30 seconds, and they have not seen a survivor yet.
Well, Dead Dog's one of my favorite maps because the gens are almost always in the same places, which is great. But also those bushes are just chef's kiss.
Yeah, they are. So T and I are both survivor mains. We both dabble in killer, but I agree that Dead Dog is a fantastic one because I really feel like I have a good understanding of where I will be able to find survivors. Oh, that was a nice pallet there by Tap.
Indeed, and like we were saying before, there is that balanced landing. And Tap, and I don't know if he's gonna make it to this window. Yeah, he gets caught right in that window, and Phantom is going down. So that is the first down for this Bubba. I think he's gonna, he might just take his time to break this door a little bit and get settled into the map.
The problem is when it does go bad here, it goes very bad. And as soon as you've got your killer breaking the doors in this main building, you know it's gonna be rough because you're like, oh no, they know. They're knowers.
They are knowers. I mean, this is comp. Everybody has to be knowers, right? Yeah, pre-dropping that pallet, like, yeah. Well, that's one thing about this map that is annoying is that you can pre-drop pallets for days, but I mean, this is a really central hook for this Bubba. And actually, if you worth noting, there isn't a 3-gen in that back corner. You guys see that? They have the Gallows gen, they have the gen in the middle of the dead zone, but otherwise there's no 3-gen back there, so Bubba has a little bit less to work with here.
Yeah, and he dropped Chase pretty quickly on that Fang.
Well, I think he's got to protect the tag, but hopefully borrowed. Even so, I've seen so many times like this where it doesn't matter if you got borrowed because you're gonna go down anyway.
Yeah, you see the add-ons there, the award-winning chilling, the beast marks engravings. That is Zoom Bubba, and that's exactly what we just saw there. Oh, now he takes his basement hook. There you go.
Oh no, this is.
Oh, this is not good.
Yeah.
You don't want to say it's all over because it's never over, but this is not good.
Oh yeah, this is pretty rough for our survivor squad here. Again, this is lining up to be exactly how I've seen it before. You get that central basement, and like, what's even worse for these survivors, there is a gen in the center, so even though he doesn't have the 3-gen to work on, he has that gen in the center. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh wow, that was gracious.
That was, but I don't know if you heard it. That was he did just block up that window. So if they had stayed there, they were dead. Also, I think that might have been a live from our Jake. Oh, they got the unhook. They got the unhook in the basement with that play. That was good coordination.
Well, and that's the thing in comp games like this, coordination is so key. Oh my God, we have a Sabo.
Sabo play from the Jake, staying in character. Okay.
Wow. Don't know that's gonna matter, unfortunately, but making it a little harder, at least putting him a little less centrally on the map.
That's exactly why he did it. He did not want there to be a central hook next to that gen. Now Tap can settle, especially if Tap is the one to have kinship. That might have just been one of the plays of the game. If they're able to delay Tap on hook and give them more time, that could save them. Like, they haven't got a gen done since that first one, but central, like, the Krupp was still up during that time. Krupp's no longer up. Bubba's gonna have a harder time patrolling and proxying this hook. I don't know. I feel like the game kind of reset itself with that with this hook placement.
Yeah, that was very crucial.
Indeed, and now Bubba's just kind of looking around, trying to find him another survivor. Again, we saw another gen, and it looks like that gen just got blocked, so it looks like we have Deadlock in play as well. All right. And wait, they're going for the unhook right there?
Whoa,
did Bubba see that unhook? He was just kind of sitting there.
We know Nia's got the bar up.
Right. Oh, that's brutal. Oh, hold on.
Why?
Tap was healing up there. That is.
Oh, that was not the choice.
Cheeky Tap. That was not.
That's bold.
That was not it.
Yeah, he's dead. He is straight up dead.
For survivors, you're in a bad place because you've got as many survivors and as many gens to do, and that is hard work to come back from.
Yeah, well, they do the
gallows popped, which is always good.
I will say, now looking back on it, I'm not sure what Tap was supposed to, like, I think as soon as the tantrum happened, Tap was supposed to leave. But he like, Tap walked up there, he was trapped.
He was.
Yeah, he was kind of trapped out there, so I guess it was unfortunate circumstances. Though that tantrum did give him a breath of fresh life, because at that point Nia would have gone down. He would have been still trapped up there. That would have been awful for them. Now, where did... Oh, there's Jake. Yeah, just dropping this pallet bravely. Ooh, hold on. If there's no pallet here, Jake could be going down, because this is a fast Bubba. Oh, there we see it. There's those beast marks. Oh, man. So despite the fact that he's gotten a survivor out of the game already, survivors definitely are fighting back. Yeah, there's no pallet over there, and this Bubba is fast. Oh, he's taking it back to that central hook now again. Oof.
Which is undoing all the work.
It is. It really is.
Coincidentally, the Jake was the one to fix earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But they are only down to 1 generator, so they could be in an okay position.
True.
They just need to play it safe.
But you gotta hope that Tap wasn't the other person with borrowed.
That's true.
Because I believe for rules, 2 people are allowed to have borrowed. And
we know Nia is one of them.
We know Nia is one of them.
Right. It is worth noting that Tap was the one with balanced landing, it looked like. So that gen in the corner that is up on the stairs, I believe it's a 2-man gen, but you don't have the balance person. If Bubba catches either of you up there, you're both dead. And we see a survivor in the background here. I wonder if they're going to cut from the hook and go chase. No, I think they're just content to proxy this. And again, like, Bubba's so strong for proxying. I don't blame them for taking this killer.
Well, and the question now is, are they going to go for the save, or do they just accept that loss and do the next?
This is going to be dangerous. No! Nia gets into the danger zone. I don't know if I would have committed after seeing them cut away.
No.
Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, now you can just leave that person slugged.
Second stage. Yeah.
Yep. There's that second stage.
Noting, Unbreakable is not one of the banned perks, so maybe she gets lucky. Maybe we're lucky she's the one who's got it.
And
Did Fang just get the unhook?
Fang got the unhook.
Yeah, Fang came around and got the unhook. Well played on their part.
Nicely done.
Indeed.
He's gonna put Nia right up onto that same hook,
Of course
though.
he is. Because there's no pallet there anymore. There's
Oh,
no basement. Oh no.
It wouldn't be Bubba without a basement hook now, would it?
Oh,
It would not. The offending Nia goes back to the basement.
Oof. These survivors have had a bit of a rough bout. I mean, to be fair, they have fought back like really, really well so far, but that Tap taking the down there and getting death hook. That was a very early death hook.
Yes, it was.
Mind games there. They do. So I will say this is a relatively safe gen up here. Ooh, is that a failed skill check on the other one? Oh no.
I think it was.
No.
I don't think he has oppression. I think that was just very good timing. I don't know. It could be oppression. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna spoil the fun. Oh, there's Jake. Oh no, they got a pallet though. They do have a pallet. Oh, but it's not a very safe pallet. Oh, but the line.
Not.
Oh, that's right. So he gets that extra distance, which is gonna be very helpful because there's almost always a pallet over here at the
And
water
Fang has
tower.
got that rescue, so he is off the hook. Can they make it out of the basement?
Whoa, smart play by Bubba.
Indeed. I'm surprised that Fang didn't try and fake it. That would have been a good place to fake.
I am also surprised because I think she could have had that.
Nope, trying to wiggle down there. Can you imagine when this boil over comes in with his buff?
Boil over breakout is going to be OP and so fun to use as a survivor main.
Oh yeah,
But
boil
it's
over.
horrible for killers.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be quite annoying. And yeah, Jake's just gonna drop out of here preemptively. Actually, Bubba needs to break that pallet. Jake has a free get out of jail card every time he drops down there with the vault.
This is a difficult place to be, though, because we've got Jake and Nia both injured, and Fang is on first stage in the basement. Will someone be able to get that rescue? I don't know that it's going to happen.
I don't think so either. Nice soft flick from the Bubba there. And it looks like they're going to leave their slug and go kick this gen. And it is easy. We can say it now because the survivors have seen it. They do have Pop Ghost Weasel, so these gens are regressing quite a bit. And, oh, she's up on...
Sure.
How far is this gen? I'd say about 60, 70%. I didn't realize they were over here on this gen. Cheeky.
No, it sounds pretty far along.
It
Sure is
does.
a good thing your co-commentators didn't say any of the killer perks and ruin that. It's a good thing that they definitely knew that they shouldn't do that.
No, it's fine. The survivors in comp generally can figure out what the killer's build is really quickly. Even like to the point where it's like, oh, this killer totally has no wed. And it's just because that sixth sense intuition. They count the perks, they call them out. It's just we don't like to spoil the fun for the viewers too much.
She makes that pallet.
She does.
It gets raked back up.
Well, the good news is she's pulling him far away from that Jake, because if she doesn't and she goes down, it would be so easy for him to just turn around and go grab that Jake as well.
And I fear we're gonna lose Fang on.
Oh,
and
Jake got the
gets
rescue!
this. Oh, Jake.
Good job there. Now the question is, do they go up to the saloon and try and jam that gen out, or do they go to the other gen in the far corner and try and jam it out together? I'm wondering, because we don't have Prove Thyself, I'm wondering if there's a resilience player or anything in here. I forget if resilience is banned. I don't think it is.
Resilience is not banned.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if Shelby has resilience here. Yeah, we kicked that gen, makes sense. But this gen over here had some progress on it. I'm wondering if they're gonna be able to jam it out. No, that gen does not have hardly any progress. Repressed Alliance, though, from these survivors.
Oh, no, but they are both there. And
Jake couldn't vault because Fang was vaulting.
Oh, the sandbag.
Oh.
The accidental sandbag.
The pain. The humanity. Why can't two survivors vault at the same time? This game is killer-sided.
Oh, no.
Trying to bait up the dead hard. And it looks like this is going to be a 4K for Bubba.
But the good news is the survivors did get 4 of their 5 gens done, which at the beginning of this match, if you told me was going to happen, I might not have believed it.
You would be surprised how resilient survivors are in the face of pressure. Like, if this was a pubs game, you'd be like, man, I'm doing so well. 2 gens pop. I'm like, excuse you? You did what? Yeah, survivors really are efficient with their time.
You can hear that Shaq right at Patch right at Shaq, which as a survivor is one of the most painful things. You're getting carried to your death and you just hear that beautiful chorus. And you know you can't get it.
Bubba certainly is
very happy.
This went.
Oh yeah, for sure. And there you have it. Yeah, Jake with the live. No exhaustion perk on this survivor, surprisingly. Adrenaline, Breakable Soul Guard. I do like the Unbreakable Soul Guard play, and I don't think they got any value from it, unfortunately, but well played.
And Remember Me. I'm surprised to see Remember Me, I guess. As a...
You mean Wake Up?
Or Wake Up, yes. Sorry, not Remember Me. Remember
Wake
Me
Up is actually a very common perk. Taking 3 seconds off the door can mean life or death. In fact, with Wake Up getting its buff, there has been some discussions about, does this perk need to receive a ban for being too strong? Because after, I believe with the addition of, what is it, Spine Chill? Yeah, if you have Spine Chill and this perk, it's like 5.5 seconds off. Yeah, no,
wow.
It's something ridiculous. But
imagine, does Resilience also give you a speed buff on that as well?
I want to say it does, but I honestly don't remember if Resilience does or not. Resilience does practically everything, so I wouldn't be surprised if it did. I don't remember if it does or not.
Maybe I just never think of running Wake Up because I always assume I'm gonna die.
Fair. I think it is worth noticing. I believe the person with Wake Up did have Adrenaline, so that is also a common thing. You get Adrenaline, you're the person that runs over and grabs that exit and start getting it done. Again, this is if you make it to the end game, which they didn't this time. But again, we'll see it again because in trial number 2 coming up, that's also a Bubba game. But Bubba is so strong on that map. I have seen, I think, 1 game out of almost a dozen of Bubbas on that map where survivors actually get to escape. It feels like it never happens.
Yeah, that was quite the match.
It really was.
As soon as he got that first tap hook right in the middle with that center gen right there. Man. But they really fought their way back. That was beautiful.
Yeah, they definitely did a good job trying to fight their way back, and they almost got that last gen done. It's just Tap dying that early. I think Tap died on they hadn't completed a second gen. I think.
Gens left.
Oh, they had 3 gens? Okay, they had 2 gens done.
And then they popped the one right after he died.
Okay. But yeah, that was quite intense. I I thought once the tap died, it was just over, and then they did 2 gens anyway. So again, just showing the resilience of those survivors. But
I think
there's an inevitability.
The map setup and Bubba being able to get a couple more hooks in the basement really helped him, because it takes a little bit longer to get people from the basement sometimes, because you have to be doubly sure that they're not there, especially with the Bubba, because it only takes 1 second for you to go down to get someone, and Bubba's right behind you, and then everybody is dead.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure there was call-outs as soon as the unhook happens, like, oh, he's heading right back, and at that point, you just got to pray that you make the right call. And like, do you vault the window? Do you not? Do you throw the pallet? Do you not? And just, yeah, the basement and that central hook being so close is just ridiculous. Because if there wasn't a central hook there, you might be able to get away with an unhook and get far enough away from the basement. Because yeah, as soon as you go to the basement, it's just, what do you do? But
Pray.
We'll have to see how these survivors handle it. Because again, the other team is responding in kind with a Bubba, so we'll see what their plan to go against it is, and it's cool to see because we have map specific and killer specific before we go into these games. Survivors actually have some really interesting meta calls, I guess you could say, for the way they play the game. For instance, we saw Deadlock that previous game last week when we saw on Dead Dog and there was a deadlock. The survivors had that saloon gen 99. So every time Deadlock popped, it popped the gallows or the saloon gen. And that is the safest gen on that map for the survivors. So they just have it 99. It's always the one that's getting deadlocked. And it was a slaughter for the survivors on that one.
Wow.
That's just brutal.
It's really cool to watch. I have been enjoying the games we saw. To be fair, I said the word bangers a lot last week. Every single match I got to cast was absolute fire. It was so fun. And so far, I haven't been disappointed.
I think Deadlock has become, as a survivor, one of my least favorite perks recently, because there is such pain in like 2 gens left, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're both like neck and neck. Who's gonna get it done first? And you're 99, and then all of a sudden that deadlock. And so many times you die because you just can't get that last gen done, and you're just screaming about Deadlock being the worst perk.
Deadlock's good for a reason. I was surprised after it came out to see comp slowly start to take it into account. I didn't think it had much comp viability. I thought it was like, okay, it's it's nice, but it's it's a block, you can't pop it. But it just has this magnificent slowdown effect that I was not intending. So I was blown out of the water with how much it's seen play. And I'm surprised we also haven't seen more like Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, because I'm sure you guys playing Survivor so much, you guys see Pain Resonance all this time now, right? I see it everywhere.
We see Plaything more than Pain Resonance.
Really? Okay, I'd actually like Plaything more. Plaything's fun.
We see Plaything a lot. And basically every pinhead we run into is running Plaything.
Okay, but that makes sense because that's as teachable. It's I don't know. Anyway.
But we see it with other killers too. We've seen it on Bird Lady a couple of times, and and God,
did we see it on Trickster recently? I feel like
I think we did. Yeah. And it's God, Plaything is one of those perks. It's another one where it's some people DBD is kind of in a huge way about being able to hear where everything is, right? Hearing the worst moment is when you hear the wisp of a cloak and you know that it's a ghost face all of a sudden, and you're like, oh God, I'm about to go down.
It's the cloak you hear? You don't hear those leather pants?
No, I hear the flutter of his like, it's so bad. But using the how loud the music is to kind of gauge the distance of where your killer is, Plaything just completely takes that away, which forces you to make a decision. Am I just going to have to be like hyper vigilant the rest of the match, or am I going to take the time to try and find my totem, or is another survivor going to be kind enough to do it for me? And when you're in
doesn't the totem show up to you after 90 seconds?
It does, but only when you're within a certain proximity.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So if you're lucky, you get hooked right next to it, and you're like, "Oh, look, there's my totem.
Exactly.
Like, that's fantastic." When I get off, there it is.
Right. That is fair. That is fair. Yeah, I actually used to like running Plaything on Trickster occasionally. Even
so
though
mean.
you have that lullaby, Survivor still not knowing where the heck you are is hilarious.
Ugh.
Makes it
I'm
a
so
horror game all
convinced.
over again.
The times that DBD is most a horror game is when you have like a ghost face or plaything or like a Myers, and you're just waiting, and you just know. You get this feeling on the back of your neck, and you're like, "Oh God, it's gonna be a Myers," and you turn around, and he's right there, like standing
He's
on
just
a
like
hill,
standing right there
staring at
watching you.
I see you standing over there. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. So I took a Larry's offering because I was trying to do a vault build as a survivor, and we got a ghost face. And I was always
God.
hyper aware of all times, but there is still one time they stalked me and got me exposed, and I still could not figure out where that ghost face was leaning from. Like I was looking everywhere on all hallways, and he still stalked me. I'm like, how did you stalk me? But it only takes that tiny sliver. So
But I would argue that sometimes those are my favorite matches, though. Don't you think, Junie?
I do, because I feel like sometimes they can be the most unnerving, because you really
true.
don't know what's going on, as opposed to, when you have someone and you can hear Huntress's lullaby getting closer, or,
Mm-hmm.
you can, see Blight in the distance, like banging off walls, but with Ghostface and Myers, man, sometimes that stealth do be a killer.
It's so fun, though.
Oh yeah. I appreciate that there are stealth killers in this game. It makes me sad that stealth killers aren't generally better, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I just
I
realized
think
my
everyone
brain's
has
playing.
kind of agreed that Myers needs a bit of a work.
Oh yeah, and there have been rumors for probably years now that we're gonna get some kind of reboot for Myers, and we haven't heard anything. I hope we do. I think Myers needs some love, and I also just remove Tombstone. Just remove it.
Please.
No one like that. That
Please.
is again a relic of a bygone era. If we don't need it anymore.
We have stopped DCing from. We used to DC from a Tombstone match. Like if someone brought in Tombstone, we would DC. And I recognize
I don't even
that's not
blame
our
you.
Tombstone, like, but we would. However, it's much more fun to play the locker game. Right?
We've had a couple of good Tombstone games,
Mhm.
Because
playing the
now
locker
you
game.
just get in lockers, and you sometimes you get these Tombstones who just refuse to hook
Go
you,
with
and
the
it's hilarious.
locker.
And this one time we were up against the Tombstone, and Junie, he kept downing her, but or
Mhm.
she
I
kept
was
getting.
at Auto.
He
You were
was
at Auto Haven,
She
yeah.
kept getting in lockers, and so he would pick her up and walk to the corner of the map and stand there until she wiggled off, and then try and get the Tombstone. He did it like 10 times. He didn't even bother to close hatch because he
my
wanted the Tombstone so
word.
bad. And on the last time, Junie saw hatch, and so she wiggled off and just booked it and got out
Yeah.
because he just refused to hook her. So you can have fun with those matches. You just it sucks for the first person, right? Because they're the one who has to find out. But after that, like
Right.
you can have some good times.
And then you saw that with the rework or the retuning of his add-ons, they actually buffed the Eerie Tombstone.
Uh-huh.
Like in all fairness, I don't think the Eerie Tombstone is the biggest offender. It's the Purple Tombstone. I feel like Purple Tombstone is the bigger issue.
Yeah,
Like-
the Tombstone piece.
Yeah, like the if you have the Eerie Tombstone, you're slower, so you have to like bring play with your food or something to catch them off guard or try and catch up to them. Whereas the Purple Tombstone, it just happens.
Yep.
It's super annoying. I think we're almost ready up here, so we will be going to our match soon. Just checking with our survivors if they're ready. Do believe we are ready to go, so we'll be loading in here momentarily.
And
I'm
are we
excited.
going back to Dead Dog? Is that true?
Yes, we are going back to Dead Dog, and again, it's Bubba, it's
Oh,
Dead
boy.
Dog, but the coin has flipped. It is now the surviving team that's killing, the killing team that was surviving. So
I am happy to see we have a Claudette with a beamer because I have recently been working on my beamer saves and God, I love a spicy beamer. I'm excited to see how that plays into the match and hopefully if that will come into use at all.
we will see. It is not very common for flashlights to get flashlight saves. It is far more common for flashlights to burn a nurse, burn a wraith, disable hag trap. They're more utility than anything. But also, I mean, you're allowed one of every item, so you might as well take a flashlight. Yeah, but there's a chance you could get a flashlight save, and if you do, then
All the more power to you.
oh yeah, for sure.
You're king of the lab. The beamer save.
I need to have. I just realized I'm on the way the screens are set up. I know JuniKoh can't see this, but the way the screens are set up, I need to have a button where we just flop sides. That'd be so great. But with that said, we have loaded in, so we're gonna jump right in here. And where are we, Mr. Killer? There you are. Travesty on demand is our Bubba, and we'll see how he tackles this. And yeah, we do have a corrupt jet. Notice again, they don't have a 3-gen. Another 3-gen that was missed. So Survivor's kind of getting a little bit of the same RNG here when he does find an ace out in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
Ace, what's the plan? Does he keep running? Ooh, he checked the side and he kept going. Oh, Ace is gone. Look at the distance he got there. Wow.
Yeah, he is.
That was some good instincts.
Indeed. And taking the vault there. Yeah, just gonna go ahead and break this door. Ooh.
Oh no! Oh
Ace.
no!
Oh no!
Okay, you dropped that, but now he might be in a bit of a dead zone. He can't. He wasn't able to block it. He tried to block it. He almost got it. And yeah, now he gets this pallet.
I am a little worried about how fast these pallets are going.
Yeah.
True, but gens also go pretty quickly, so we'll have to see.
That's true.
Oh, is he gonna catch this? Is Ace hit?
Yeah, he
Oh,
is.
he got hit through the pallet.
Yep.
Oh, that's
He
always a
knows how to get
heartbreaker.
here.
That is upsetting to lose God pallet like that. Oof. Oof.
That is
And
brutal.
the basement is right here.
Yep. And
First hook in the basement. That is.
Oh, and shame hook to boot.
I mean, you might as well. It takes a little bit of it generally like it takes like what 0.5 seconds extra time to walk out of there with that. So that Gallows gen, however, is almost not Gallows. I'm sorry, Saloon gen is almost done. They might be finishing it here right now.
Sounds like at least 4 pistons, which is all the pistons.
Which is all the pistons. But they have left it.
They did leave it.
Oh, but they stayed up top.
They did stay up. That is a good observation. Yeah. And yeah, that gen's almost done, but we're still in the corrupt period. I think corrupt's about to expire. And there you have that first gen in the background finishing, but Ace might be progressing here. Oh, you guys see that deadlock was going on?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Deadlock on that, so they're doing the exact same thing I was talking about.
That means that they had 2 gens
Yes.
that were really close because it deadlocked 2 separate generators.
Right, but they 99'd that top one, and so it'll always take priority. These survivors have the counterplay for deadlock.
And Ace has just hit in second stage, so that's
a bummer.
That is a rough place to be.
True, but now you have 3 gens?
Oh.
Yeah, they Wow, wait, they popped that gen?
Wow.
Oh.
Yes, they did.
I don't know about that one. I'll be honest. We'll see if that bites them or not, because now they've got these 4 gens are around Bubba's basement. Oh, and there they go for the save.
Oh no.
We'll see how it goes.
Borrowed? No borrowed.
No, yes, borrowed.
Oh yes,
That was
borrowed.
borrowed.
And
And
a
wow,
TP
They know the
locker.
timing.
Wow.
They know the timing.
Well done. Oh,
Uh-oh. I
nice
think they might
Oh,
get
Oh
this.
my! Wow.
The Claude has the... Oh, but she got
Oh, that is disappointing.
grabbed. Okay.
she was doing so well down there too. Oh no.
They almost had the timing down. That was really well played. They had the timing on the first one, so that was fantastic on their part, but didn't have the timing on that second one.
Just a second early.
Yep. Uh-oh. There's a Nia. Gonna be cubed out of that. That's 1 pallet out of the dead zone. They have to be careful with these pallets, but to be fair, you can't afford to go down out there either. It's a really... Again, it's just really rough because you don't have much. There's no counterplay. You just drop pallets or you die. It's Bubba.
Yeah.
Bubba don't
Yeah.
care. Oh, does he block
For
this?
this Nancy,
Ooh.
she does not have a lot to work
Wide.
with.
Life, though, so she's gonna make a little bit of distance. Unfortunately, that pallet is gone from
man.
earlier. Go
Beast
down.
mark value. Notice also, I believe that's a deliverance from our Claudette.
Yes, I do believe that is.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's so good.
That is actually an incredible play on her part.
no.
Because
The
it
best
saves
person
her
to
teammates
sacrifice in the basement.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
from having to come get her.
Right, yeah.
But I believe
But did she stay? That's the question.
Did
Because
she
we
stay to get
we
the
did
unhook?
not see scratch marks come up out of there, and I'm not sure she had enough time to come up out
that's
after
a
that deliverance.
very
so
good
she
point.
could be prepped and ready to get that rescue with the borrowed.
True. And I don't know. Yeah, we didn't see fought it outside. Oh, Nia getting just the tip of the end of that chainsaw there.
No.
And that is, I believe this is Nia's first hook as well. So they have hooked every single survivor so far. We see what Deadlock is still working on. Yeah, and there's that unhook. I don't think Claudia stayed in the basement.
I don't think she did
I
either.
don't think she did either. So I'm wondering how she got out in time.
It may have just happened before and we missed the scratch marks, but hopefully she's the one who did the unhook, because
Oh
if
my
not,
goodness.
this Nancy's in trouble.
That gen wasn't the most progress. There was the other one. They have done such a good job countering Deadlock this game. It's like they expected it. Oh,
And she knows she's going down.
I think Nancy might have decisive here. Running to the corner like this, either she's wasting time or it's decisive. Nope, no decisive.
Wasting time.
And worth noting, that notification over there in the far, survivors just noticed it too. That is no way out, and they do have 4 stacks. So the survivors are stuck in here for an additional minute, 45 seconds now.
Oof.
We'll see.
So now you have to, you got to play it safe. You got to avoid being seen. You got to get the doors ready, and you've got to get the unhook, which is a
Right.
lot to do.
Claudette has healed up, which is good. Is she with Ace, and can she get him healed? Not that it matters with a Bubba, really, but
Yeah, but
I
for
mean-
the sounds, he can hear them more easily if
That's
they're
true.
injured, which does make a difference.
and Ace has been healed.
So they're together.
They have reset fully. I mean, you're right. Against the Bubba, Chainsaw don't care, but we saw the Ace over there just a second ago. They might be trying for the 4 out here. I don't know if I would try a 4 out. I think I'd take the 3 out. A 3 out with 6 hook states is a win for the survivors on this game.
That's true, but they do have pretty good door placement, and maybe it's just because we're not in comp, so we play differently, but we play hyper altruistic. So like
Oh, yeah.
we're the people who we're always gonna go back and try, or at least think about it really hard.
Right, and they
But
did
I don't-
progress step.
Yeah, they did.
They did not have quite enough time.
And yeah, they have opened that gate, and there go all 3 of them. So that is a win for the survivors.
Wow.
Yeah, that is all they needed, really.
They played that so well.
Yes, they did.
That was impressive.
Yeah, and that would be okay. So they did have renewal. That was not on the deliver. So that was in fact deliverance, not renewal. They did have decisive strike too. Yeah, again, that is an example of they were ready for Deadlock. They had the coordination was there. Momo had okay, so they had the kinship. Interesting. And this is okay. So this was the dedicated unhooker then. Yeah, with the body knowledge, we'll make it just really quick heals under the hook. Yeah.
Oh yeah. The way that they managed those gens was really well done.
Oh yeah, that was some top-notch management from the gens. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that means this first set is going to go to Mirage. That was a very good showing. That was very, very good. And so set 1, I do believe, yeah, that is, I think our points are still coming in, but yeah, that's 36 to 25 as of right now, yeah. I mean, you had the 4K in the start, and then you turn around and like got a 3-man escape with 7 hook states. Yeah, this is a win for Mirage for this set. So GG's. We'll
That
be
was
going to the next set.
showing.
Yeah, that was really good. Seeing 2 different aspects of seeing Bubba on that map, and I mean, to Bubba's credit, I don't think Bubba necessarily played poorly. Survivors, like, they did that thing. I thought that them popping the Gallows gen was going to be a bad thing, and they still played around Deadlock so well. Deadlock popped the gen between the shack and the water tower, and then it was just on the other side. They popped it anyway, so.
Well, I think it helps that they didn't really take any unnecessary risks the whole match, and they really, really stayed separate. You didn't see him get like a 2-person down at all.
Yeah.
Which I think is part of what helped that first game kind of go
Snowball
more
out.
in the Bubba's favor. He got two downs multiple times.
Yeah, I will say it was really interesting to see the juxtaposition of those 2 matches back to back, because we were on the same map against the same killer,
Right.
and they went completely differently.
True. Yeah, they did. Like, yeah, the survivors didn't have as much gen pressure and control the first match. The survivors in the second match definitely had that going. Oh man, I still love seeing the counterplay the Deadlock has, because Deadlock is still a good perk. It's just that I feel like the counterplay is almost solved on some of these maps, especially on Dead Dog. Just yeah, really, really well played from the survivors that round. And Now we'll be moving on. I believe the second set is in Suffo Pit. So
That is my favorite map. I am very excited. For the longest time, people would ask us what our favorite maps were, and I would kind of be like, I don't know, Yamaoka's kind of fun, you know. You know, sometimes I don't know. I Coal Tower, Macmillan, whatever. Suffo Pit, man, is where it's at. I love Suffo Pit so much. There's so much fun stuff you can do in terms of running in the middle with all the TNLs and the jungle gyms, and there's really, as long as you are really smart about it, you know, there's a more, in my opinion, a more minimal risk of 3-genning. As long as if you can get that center gen done quickly, and then you just spread pressure evenly across the map, you know, your chances are usually pretty okay.
And then you have the mine that you get to play around in.
Oh yeah,
which is
always really fun.
Which can always be a really good time.
Plus, there's always a chest there, and I'm a loot gremlin. I want the chest.
No chests here.
I'm the idiot who one day is gonna get somebody with what is that perk? The one, the territorial imperative, and they're just gonna see me at the beginning of the match down there like an idiot, raiding the basement chest. That's me.
I've definitely seen survivors go down under that. It's funny that that's your take on Suffo Pit, because I have a similar take, but not in the same string. Where it's I like the fact that on Suffo Pit you can spawn a 5-gen on one side, and the entire side has no pallets for survivors to go into.
Yeah, but if you get like real unlucky. I mean, like,
I don't know. I know that actually happens quite often. That actually happens quite often for me.
Maybe the RNG gods are just favoring us a little more.
There you go. Or I mean favoring our playstyles. You guys play Survivor, I play Killer. So obviously we have different deities for this. The entity is mine, and I guess Steve is yours. I don't know.
Steve, oh god. Honk. I'm so embarrassed.
Oh no. Oh no.
Call of the Steve. It's so good.
Oh goodness. Anyway, so yeah, we're moving on to set number 2 here. I believe. Yeah, again, we're having a bit of a mirror match going on here, and you guys should love this. It's twins.
Oh, Junie. If you were to ask me who my least favorite killer was, I always used to say Bubba, and you were to ask Junie who her least favorite killer was.
I used to would have said twins, and it is a really they just don't do it for me.
Really?
They don't. No, I feel at the level at which T and I are competing, which is lower, I feel like the twins really promote camping. I feel like we oftentimes go up against twins where they camp Victor, and
super hard.
It just, I hear that noise at the beginning that indicates the twins, and I immediately try to go open up the exit gate.
It's true. Or she gets in a locker. She's like, I hate it here. I don't want to be here.
It's unfortunate because I do like the nature of twins. If it wasn't for the fact that you can't move them both at the same time, I think if you could move them both at the same time, I don't think they would be as campy, because you could actually promote split pressure. But yeah, the fact that one has to stay static, they are just the easiest camper. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, and beyond that, I mean, you know, now this being said, I've never actually physically played the twins. T's played a couple times, but it's in my mind, mind in which I don't know how you actually play them. All I can think is, okay, so you hook someone, you camp Victor in front of the hook, and you are just like toggling a button to look through different people's eyes. And like,
see, I've played the twins a little bit, and when I play killer, keeping in mind the things I hate as killer when I'm playing survivor. So I'll hook somebody, and then I'll go pop myself somewhere kind of far away, just to not be a jerk. Just because, you know, and we're not playing comp. So like, mostly we're just playing for fun. And then you get to play as the little grass gremlin, who is really fun to play around with. I'm not going to lie. Like,
you mean
beating
better
yourself
demo?
Yes. Beating yourself off a cliff and like grabbing onto somebody's back is so fun.
Now, we did have that really good match against the twins at Dead Dog, and I almost made it out, until the camping grass gremlin literally yeeted himself at me at the exit
Oh,
gate, and
God,
I
that- yeah, see,
screamed.
And that's the thing is she popped herself at one exit gate and put him at the other, and that's like,
Yep, that's how you do it.
and that oh man, but he did scare the
It
bejesus
scared
out of me,
the
which was really
bejesus out of
funny.
me.
Oh yeah, Victor will definitely do that for sure. And I hope you'll get to see it a little bit. Twins has a lot of diverse gameplay from the killer side, but the survivor side is less diverse. There is very straightforward countermeasures to playing against twins.
I'll look at this as an educational experience. Then,
Yeah.
right.
Like blocking Victor from holding a survivor in the locker, running in pairs. That way, if Victor downs somebody, you can immediately get the kick and the pickup. We're probably going to see a We're Gonna Live Forever. Lots of anti-slugging because twins lend themselves to slugging so much. Essentially, after twins got the nerf on Victor from 3 seconds to 5 seconds, it made the counterplay so much easier. So, yeah, I hope you guys get to see him a little bit.
The other thing for us is we just don't see them very often. Maybe once a week. I mean, like we don't see twins frequently.
True, twins
So
is
we
definitely a
don't- we
dying breed.
Yeah, we don't get to go against them enough to work on that counterplay, unfortunately. So I'm excited. I am really excited to see what this looks like in comp because I think it will be
Much
very,
different.
very different from what we're used to playing against.
I would imagine so. And again, it kills me because they're nerfing twins again. So I'm like, how many twins are actually playing out there that you guys decided to nerf these poor two? But
yeah.
Oh well, so be it. I hope they don't receive a nerf again because they like twins when they came out was probably top A tier as far as killers for comp. Like we saw twins a lot just because their dual nature play style was rough. Survivors are having trouble trying to figure out the counterplay properly. There was just a lot to get used to. But then that nerf hit, and like even before the nerf, there was still a little bit of counterplay that was being developed. It was getting a little bit easier to play against them. But then once that nerf hit and you have 5 seconds to get it's
I have to say,
done.
There are so many things that I would want nerfed before the twins. Like
agreed. Alchemist ring.
like
Everybody screams alchemist ring, but they buffed blight instead.
See, you're thinking like really grand. You know what? If behavior said to me, T, what is the one thing you want nerfed? We'll do it right away. I would say, make it so that Franklin's doesn't make you drop the box with Pinhead. That is all I want because that is a core gameplay mechanic. You need the box to have any sort of shot, and if he has Franklin's, it's such BS. That is the only thing I want. Screw mother-daughter ring. Screw everything else. All I want is for Franklin's to not work on the box because we see so many pinheads right now.
Pinheads and Wraith.
That's actually.
I'm thinking simple.
That's funny. I haven't heard that one before. Interesting.
The
Okay. Okay.
The little things in life.
The little things in life. All right. So for hot takes, then, chat. What would you want to see done if behavior handed you the ballot? What would you change? We have
the one
Franklin's
thing?
pinhead interaction. What else?
I'm interested to see what people will say.
Oh, geez.
What would you do, Junie? If you had to pick one thing.
I'd have to think about that. I really would. You know, it's interesting because I play this game much different from even T and from a lot of people. I am not someone that has invested a lot of time in understanding how everything works. I'm just kind of a fly by the seat of my pants. And if it works, yay. You know, so which is oftentimes why you're going to see me be a little bit more quiet on this end and really kind of hone into what the survivors are doing as opposed to what the killers are doing, because I am not a killer main in any way. And if you see me play killer, it's going to be doctor or trapper for a daily. And that's kind of it. So I'd really have to think about what I wanted them to do if I was able to make one adjustment.
That's fair. I enjoy playing Trapper. Doctor was my first main that I ever did, and look how they massacred my boy. And not anything directly to Doctor, it's just because dedicated servers made his power so much worse. Getting a
doctor is like a good doctor is miserable to go against because they're going to shock you at all the right times. You're not going to be able to vault. You're not going to be able to throw pallets.
Also,
but it's like, other than that, your odds are good.
It's worth noting that Chad is agreeing with your pinhead take.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you,
boons.
chat.
We've got boons.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
that's fair. See, I love boons, but I'm a survivor main, so I love boons. It's
Yeah.
killer mains hate boons.
I
but-
love the blood points. I love the blood points. They're kind of strong though. That said, surprise, we're already in the match, so we're gonna head right on over there. I will discuss boons with you after this. Let's put it that way. There's a lot to talk about there. There's a lot to unpack it.
Oh, she spotted the ace already. That outfit, unfortunately, very bright.
Oh yes, pre-driving that pallet, not wanting to take that early hit. I didn't get a chance to see their corrupt zone just yet. I want to see what their
It's
corrupt
all
zone looks
down
like.
on the other
It
end.
is. It's all done on Shaq.
by
end.
Shaq.
All right,
She is
breaking this door.
breaking these doors. Yeah.
That's smart. I mean, it's the only door to break. Might as well. All right, so wait, is there a 4-gen on this side? I think there's a 4-gen on the Suffolk pit side.
Oh boy.
And he is dropping these pallets.
I'm
Might as
not
well.
sure I would do that.
concerned. I'm concerned about the runnability of that building now.
Very good point. Very good point. And yeah, Nia was working on this gen, but yeah, this is it's a pseudo 4-gen. That gen is kind of in the center. Yeah, that is a priority gen. They are like, we need this gen done ASAP.
Uh-huh.
Smart. How many pallets do they have on this side left? They have 1, 2. You're right. This could be
2.
close to a dead zone soon.
Yeah.
Because-
Ace.
Oh,
no.
Ace.
It's like, for me, once you see she's respecting, I'm not gonna, you gotta greed that stuff a little bit because no one's gone down yet. There you
True.
go.
And yeah, that's that last pallet on that side.
That's
but
it.
that is that last pallet. I mean, there is one
God,
there in the
guys.
center off to the right that we just saw,
I'm so nervous.
and that is
And here
he's
comes
out.
Victor. But to say, I thought they, like, you don't want to use Victor too early. Ooh, this gen's also being worked. You don't want to use Victor too early because, well, now there's no pallets over here. You might be okay. But, yeah, they'll, like, the counterplay, you kidnap Victor. Like, kidnapping Victor is an actual,
yeah.
oh, you have to hit these. If you're not hitting these, you're going to be in for a rough time. There's Nia. Oh, can they get this one? They can. They do get that on Nia. And we'll see if Nia, yeah, Nia's going to hit. She's going to run.
To the other side of the map.
Yep, that is exactly how you do it. And we will not see Victor for about another 2 minutes.
That's our very favorite thing to do.
yes, we take Victor on a long walk.
Take him on a jog.
Oh, man. And, I think that was that gen. Yeah, that was that quarter gen that
Yeah.
Nancy's working on. So,
Unfortunately, our killer's in a rough position now because
Yep.
they've got a lot of progress on a lot of gens down there. And
that is a deadlock on that gen.
Oh, we
Corrupt
hear
has
Victor.
ended.
Victor is respawning inside of her cavity,
Oh.
which is a phrase I hate to say.
Oh, goodness. But I say, I'm surprised. I didn't expect Nia to get rid of Victor that early. I would have kidnapped him for a bit longer. Ooh, yeah, these two survivors are really good at splitting the pressure here. Our killer might be in a little bit of trouble potentially. I don't know if Ace is gonna be able to get after them or not. No, they left.
This is the same killer from the last match we were watching.
Was
necessarily.
it? I don't think Psycho Man has killed last
Okay.
time. At least I don't
Okay.
remember
Yeah.
them. They might have been the killer last time. I don't remember if that was the case.
But you do have to think that they're coming out of the team is coming from a match where, they got a 3-man escape, and so one team is probably feeling pretty good, and the other team is probably feeling a little less good, which can 100% affect how you're playing.
Right. I think Survivors was the team that just did the 3-man outs. Ooh, they did get the down on the Ace there though. That'll be a first
That's
down.
right.
Are they
So
going
the
to take this
survivors
or
that
not?
the survivors that survived on Dead Dog on our second match are our current survivors.
Ooh, but they
Oh.
do finish that gen anyway.
no.
They do finish that gen. That is
Oh,
good for
Nancy's
them.
over here. Oh, she might
Oh,
just
and
be caught
Nancy
out.
was trying to get Ace up.
A little bit of a 360 spine spin. I don't know if you're not gonna. I think Nancy's gonna play. The Ace got picked up anyway. That might have been an unbreakable play from the Ace.
Wow.
Oh no!
Wow.
I would have taken the pickup. Honestly, I wouldn't have wanted to
Yeah,
risk it. They still don't have a
She's
hook.
got to get somebody on a hook. She needs that pressure.
We have Bloodlust 1 coming in. Oh
She's
no!
still respecting those pallets, though.
They're trying
Victor
to
is
spawn
back.
Victor here, and they're not able to. There they go. All right, and they blocked off this pallet entry. No, they didn't.
Oh,
Okay, they got it anyway though. So they
that was interesting.
Interesting.
wonder what
have their
happened there.
down, but the survive we don't know where the other 3 are. We don't know what gens they're working on. We know that Ace was working on that gen in the corner over here, so maybe someone's injured over here. I don't know. They haven't taken the time to reset.
I'll tell you what, though, as a
Oh.
survivor, if I see that she's left that Nancy for any period of time and I've got something like We're Gonna Live Forever, I know I'm gonna go try for that pickup because she's already shown that she's not gonna be picking up right away necessarily. You know, so it's worth making those plays potentially.
True.
And there goes another gen.
Claudette finishing that gen after getting Victor off. And
boy.
But that is 3 gens on that side, I do believe, that have now popped.
And both these survivors have reset. Survivors are doing a very good job of putting pressure on these twins. Oh,
this is the first hook of the match. This is feeling really rough for the twins, unfortunately.
True. I'm not. Ooh, they got the hit on. Wait, no, that was hit on Nancy. Oh, and they get the kick anyway. She hit the iframes on the Nancy there. That's unfortunate. I know they were trying to hit the Nia, but it didn't quite work out. Ace with a balanced landing is gonna get the Shaq. Oh man. This.
My mind now, though, if they get one of these gens done over on this side, it's over because they'll have a great spread in terms of what they have to do for their last one.
We see that gen is just barely touched. They need to find someone and put them on that hook right on top of that hill and camp them out. In my opinion. They do get the hit on Nia. Where does Nia run? Because Charlotte is close. Oh, you got a pallet there still. Oh, that was unfortunate. I have definitely done that before where I swing into the area that I'm not expecting. Mind games, though, are not working for the twins here. And yeah, now she's going to be able to run into that Suffolk pit area. Oh, man. Yeah, these twins are definitely struggling to get out some pressure here, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
there's
the survivors,
Nia.
to their credit, are doing a really good job of, how do I say this? Like,
splitting?
Harassing her with a single gen.
True.
And just coming back to it over and over, and
she's not getting much of an opportunity to leave the area.
Exactly.
Which is, in turn, unfortunately for the twins, giving the other survivors time to get other gens done.
Exactly.
Right. And, oh, is that a deliverance play? It is.
It is.
Oh, they got the hit to the window, though.
That
well
was a
played.
nice hit on Victor's part.
I feel like that was a bit of an early deliverance. I feel like I would have waited that out a little bit longer.
Maybe that might have been the play. I don't know. And they do find Momo over here. Oh, but they missed the lunge. Oh, he's not able to kick. They wasn't able to kick that. A little bit of I don't know if Toy Sword was anything to do with that or not. And then they're on that.
You know what, though?
Is this going to be a decisive play? I remember decisive being on the deliverance person before. Did they keep the decisive on them? They did.
They do. And that decisive comes
Nicely
in.
Done.
Brutal. Yeah, Nia's going to run to the other side of the map. However, she does have her pick of survivors to go after. Nancy over
This gen
here.
is
Ace on
very
that one.
close, though.
True, and they don't have any kind of any regression going for them. There's no pop. There's no ruin. It's just gonna be that slow regression. Oh, Ace failed a skill check though. That's 10% right there. Where did the Ace go? They do find the Ace, but I don't think. Yeah, Ace goes into Shaq. That is very smart. And Claudette came right back to this gen. They do get the hit. Depending where Claudette is. Oh, but yeah, they can't cat and mouse these gens forever though. Like, twins can't.
I think, to be honest, going for that Claudette was probably the choice because at this point, if she can get everybody injured, they're not healing really.
They are not.
And that means that Victor becomes immensely more powerful.
Oh no, they got 2 survivors over here, but like Nancy. We know where Nancy is. Oh no, there's that gen. I wonder what is Deadlock on the Nancy gen? Deadlock's not on the Nancy gen?
Oh,
wait, we
wow.
don't see it from Victor's perspective. Never mind. I forgot. I don't think we see it from Victor's perspective.
No, you're correct.
Wait, no, it wasn't Deadlock.
No, it's not though.
Oh,
Interesting.
no.
What gen is 99 then?
These
It was the
survivors
one on
Oh my
Pit.
god. Wow.
That is insane.
Wow.
They have another gen just 99.
They are sitting pretty right now.
They have prepped to go against Deadlock their whole lives with
Yes,
this. I
they
am
have.
convinced.
And there goes that last generator popped.
These survivors did 6 gens effectively.
That is unreal.
Yep, and there's that pallet drop. Makes sense. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, is it Victor Tech? Victor Tech? Good job for Victor Tech. Didn't quite work out, though. Did you guys know that you can, if Victor stays up there, they end up getting despawned, but if you fall down to the last second, you're just invulnerable that entire time. So, a little bit of fun that you can do there. Nancy goes down, and they are going to take their out. Survivors did
and
unhook.
they did get that Nia off the hook at last minute. I am impressed. I thought she was dead for sure.
They left Victor at the gate. This might be a little bit of a surprise for later.
This could be a. Fair play. Although the only one who really has to be super worried is that
the other exit
Claude.
gate is open though.
Oh God! Oh no!
That is too bad.
Wow.
That is brutal.
That was well executed on the survivors' part.
Unreal,
Yeah,
man.
survivors were just absolutely cracked that game. Yeah, just
That deadlock play at the end was so good. Holy crap.
Well done. And I didn't want to say it because I know the survivors probably knew it, but Dying Light Thanatophobia, I love this slowdown build, but I feel like the Twins really needed some regression there. I love Dying Light, but it's so close to being playable, but I don't feel like it is. I don't know. A lot of things just went wrong for the killer. They missed a couple of Victor pounces. The survivors did a fantastic job cat and mousing on the gens. They did keep the decisive on the. If they didn't have decisive on this deliverance, it might have been pretty insane. But I don't know. That was rough. Thoughts?
You know, it's like when you have a match that goes this wrongly for you as a killer, there's always this mixed feeling, right? Because oftentimes I feel like when I leave a match like that, and granted, again, I'm playing at a much lower level, but when I leave a match like that, I'm feeling so many things, right? The first thing is, God, I should have done this, and I should have done that, and I should have done this. And then there's always this kind of like, wow, they were just really good.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yep.
I could have done other things, and also they were really good, and they were able to capitalize on whatever mistakes I was making. And so I really feel for them because that was a hard match.
Oh,
and I think especially coming around the corner as Victor and seeing that gen was not the one that was deadlocked.
Yeah.
At that moment, they had to know that was like, oh, that might be it, you know?
That was the oh crap moment.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. And that's one thing I struggle with is I don't want to, just because I saw that, they had the killers struggled or the survivors struggled something, I don't want to discount the other side, how well they play, because the Twins definitely struggled a little bit. Twins is a very difficult killer to play properly, but on top of that, the survivors had really top-notch counterplay going that game. They had they had people like cat and mousing gens. They were properly splitting up. They were properly resetting when they had the chance. They were constantly in pairs when it mattered.
Yep.
Really
they had that
good
great
job.
DS play, the Deliverance DS, which was really good.
DS.
They really did. And to me, it really felt like the survivors came prepared for this match, really came prepared to kind of know what to expect and have good counterplays for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And again, that's the thing, is the Twins have been out in comp for enough now that there is how would you say, a relatively tried and true method of counterplay for them. It's the same with Hag. Hag is a general pub stomper, but Hag gets absolutely abolished in comp. I don't see Hag do super well most of the time.
Okay, but like you out here challenging me to make Hag viable in comp, because if that's what you're asking, I will spend the rest of my life, because Hag is Bay Rugard. Hag is life. Hagatha Trapsy is my one true love in DBD. I adore her.
Hear me out.
So small and amazing.
Mintrag is banned.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I don't like Mintrag.
Yeah, because Mintrag, like, here's the thing. If you could just do Mintrag Rusty Shackles, that's a different story. That is gross. But yeah, Mintrag being banned, with proper callouts and communication, if the Hag does not get a chance to set up at least 5 traps with the survivors knowing where they are, you're just dead in the water. And even then, like, as soon as you pick up the first time, they're gonna run through your web. There are so many measures of counterplay to Hag that she struggles to get any traction. And her add-ons don't make sense in the way that, like, there's an add-on that increases the range of activation of her traps. It should be the opposite. It should be that reduces the range of activation. So you can't just, because I don't know if you knew this, if you play Hag enough, you can trigger the trap and run away immediately and she can't get hit.
That's
So,
true, but you know what else
What?
is sometimes you trigger a trap and then it will like throw you completely in the wrong direction, and you can end up,
we're
you know,
most comp players
I-
are PC. That's not an issue.
wow, okay.
So that's the other
You know
thing.
what?
Yeah, that's the
Rugaard,
other-
are you attacking
Wow.
us Switch players?
Wow.
Excuse me.
Hey, you are only part-time Switch
Referees,
player. Are you
does
attacking
he
us?
lose points for this? Because I think that was such a pointed comment. I am hurt.
I will say,
like when I first started in comp, like there was a huge argument of console versus PC, but it's just a matter of PC can guarantee better frames because consoles struggle with frames because DBD is not a very kind game to our machines. And two,
Oh, wow, I am
there is
so
a
shocked by
reaction.
this.
There is a reaction metric of you can't toggle back as fast as I can flick with a higher DPI. It's just the hardware. I'm not attacking console. I have seen some console players in this community absolutely run circles around me. So it's not that you can't play like strategically and looping better. It's just on a mechanical scale.
Oh, yeah,
PC can
no,
counter.
we're fully aware.
I know we are. But
This
do
is
you,
less,
have you ever
this
seen
is
a
less
Switch
for me
player?
making you feel better. This is more for me saving my image in front of the crowd.
Oh, that,
Oh, okay.
Have you ever seen a Switch player try to use a flashlight? Because it's real funny.
it is real funny.
so
Are they trying to figure out where it is? What's up?
Well, the thing is by the time you turn the flashlight on and then you move your
You're trying to
joystick
reposition.
and
Oh,
you've
God.
lost all of your flashlight because it just takes so long. But I will say I was incredibly disheartened to see that there aren't any players in this tournament that are playing on Switch. That's a
Not
joke.
disappointed, but not surprised.
Again, not surprised.
We do our best.
Indeed. And so, yeah, I think Chap also pointed out that with it being suffocation, and again, not detracting from how good the survivors played, there was some unfortunate RNG aspects to it.
There was.
A mostly perfect split on gens.
Yep.
I don't know. There was still an entire dead zone of pallet. That's the thing that sucks and is a great at the same time about Suffo Pit matches is there is so much to break down because that is the highest variance of RNG. You have that, like you said, you have that perfect split. You also have that 5 gen with no pallet. Like Suffo Pit is ridiculous, but I think that's also what kind of makes it fun is it tests how adaptive both sides can be.
Well, that's also, I think, one of the things that makes TBD a really interesting game to try and craft like a tournament style thing around. Because if you compare it to like another game that has like competitive, like we'll say Overwatch, map RNG has nothing to do with Overwatch. Every map is going to be the same every time, right? The way you play with your team may be different, but the maps never change. They are exactly the same. Whereas DBD has this extra component where you have map RNG and palette RNG and, what tiles are you going to get? And is basement going to be at Shack? Like, it's so much more stuff to take into consideration when thinking about creating a tournament like this. And you can do everything you can, but in the end, in that last match, the survivors had a very strong map. And that's not something that you can necessarily change.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that there has been talk about like if Dead by Daylight behavior could give us like seed generation, so we could have like a static set of seeds. You can remove a lot of that RNG, but I don't know if that was there's certain RNG that I like having. There's certain RNG I don't like having, and I think everybody's gonna have their own opinion in that. So I don't know.
I feel like RNG it's unfortunate sometimes, but at the same time,
the spice of
sort
life.
of what makes the game. It really
it's
is
part of the game.
It's what makes some of the greatest plays you see in DBD
Oh, yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Mhm. For sure.
Because you have to adapt to the surroundings that you are given. And you have to see what you can do to work with them. And sometimes it will be in your benefit and sometimes it will be in the killer's benefit.
Exactly. Yeah, I completely agree. That's probably what makes the game like so much interesting or still interesting to play all these years later is that there is enough variety that no game should be the same. So, and to be fair, I think that is probably behavior's strongest asset with this game is that you've got a ton of killers, you've got a ton of survivors, you got a ton of the load of variables that you have going in each match is fantastic. Am I about to say fantastic again? Anyway, moving on.
I would point out that there's some discussion in the in-game chat right now about how someone's hands are freezing, and
That is a mood.
That is a mood, and that certainly will affect some gameplay.
True. That's why I have hoodies with long sleeves.
I'm gonna. This is very lame. I'm going to be getting Junie and I each an electric hand heater. It's like a little thing that you can charge
That is
via
a great
USB.
idea. Great
you
idea.
Just hold it in your hand in between matches, because Lord knows there's enough time.
Oh, I was thinking more like the gloves that have the heaters that go up through the fingers. That way, like the fingerless gloves that have the heaters built into the back.
Oh, I haven't seen those. No, I've seen these little. They're like it looks like a little pod of heating love. You just hold it in your hand.
Yeah, the little hand warmer stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, bet.
But you can like recharge it over and over again. That's brilliant.
All right. Yeah, I get that. So we were talking about it earlier before this game. Boons. I think there is a discussion to be had on boons as a mechanic versus circle of healing. Because I think circle of healing is the boogeyman that's that's creating the heat that people are like, please nerf boons. I think you want to nerf circle of healing. Boons don't feel as bad if you know that they're not always going to use a heal there.
That's true.
I think we need to see a nerf to circle before we see anything done to boons. I think boons could be fine potentially. I'm not convinced, but it could be fine.
It's interesting because from the survivor's point of view, I do think that they could make some adjustments to circle of healing, but I know that when I play a match, I don't ever run circle of healing, but when I play a match and someone brings it, I waste so much more time healing because I'm like, oh, there's a boon there.
I'm gonna run all the way to the boon and heal.
I'm gonna run to the instead of doing this generator and like just dealing with it because I haven't taken a hook. I'm gonna go heal quickly. And so in some ways, like, yes, I appreciate that circle of healing can be OP when you've got one survivor injured and two healthy survivors healing. Maybe one of them's running botany, both are running botany, but it can be a time waster for the survivors.
I've had fire on me a number of times just because of that reason.
Like we played a match last night against. Was it a
nurse? No,
I don't know. It must have been a wraith because we played so many wraiths, and I probably spent 75% of that match just healing. I mean, I did a lot of gen work. I did some rescues and everything, but man, I felt like looking back at it, I'm like, wow, I wasted so much time healing in that circle.
I do see a suggestion in chat with someone saying that it should be the same speed as self-care. And I think I can agree with that. I think the fact that it is so fast can be a problem. I think if it were the same speed as self-care, it may also dissuade survivors from using it as frequently.
Well, yeah. it makes them make a tougher decision because we're talking about I waste so much time going healing. Sometimes that's okay. Like if it is a grindy game and you take a hit and you have to go to the other side of the map, either that killer is going to chase you and that gives the survivors their time to do what they need to, or the killer leaves you and then you reset.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a time and place for everything. I have definitely seen good teams use 2 circle of healings on either side of the map, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. As soon as again they take a hit, they run to that corner. Either I chase them and commit and I lose 2 gens, or it's a struggle. I think making it slightly less free heals would be great, or capping the heal speed, something.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree with that. Yeah, it's certainly a different play style. I mean, I feel, at least in the way that I play, I feel that it's a different play style if I'm playing with someone that's booned a circle of healing versus not.
But I think the question that the people really want answered, Rue, by you in particular, as a top 500 trickster main.
Oh goodness!
And by top 500, I mean number 1.
Trickster main. Thanks. All right, you're right. Top 500 trickster main. Nothing to see here. I'm gone. Bye. Oh my word.
How do you feel about Lightborn? What's your hot take on Lightborn? Because that has been the talk of the community in the past couple of weeks for some very weird freaking reason, man. It was a Reddit post, and then all of a sudden, it blew up for no reason.
But we are loading into this match.
Yeah, but I say we are loading in here, so I'm going to go ahead and take us over here. I think this could be good discussion depending on how this game goes, if it grinds itself out or not. Okay, so that's the corrupt. All right, so that mean there's a solid 4-gen? Ooh, look at that hill though. It's not facing the jungle gyms this time.
They're
rough.
gonna have to get one of those done.
Yes, they are.
Speedily as soon as
Otherwise,
those get unblocked.
that is an epic 3-gen right
That is
there.
a very good 3-gen for this killer. That's very true. We'll see how they tackle it.
If she can protect that,
That's an early hit on Psycho too.
It is, and that is an early release on Victor.
Well, yeah. As soon as that's why they're trying to deny the hits earlier. If you get an early hit on a survivor, you take Victor, you get a slug, and then you go and like harass another survivor. Now notice they're coming in pairs, so he's gonna get the kick here.
good body blocking.
Yep, they get the kick there, and then they're gonna try and pick up Psycho there. But I don't know if Tap is gonna have the time. Do they have work? No, they don't.
I don't
get
think
it.
he does.
No.
No,
So
they're
you
gonna
can
take
already
their-
see. That's the other thing about DBD is people play it so differently. You can already see how different the survivors and the killer are going to be playing this match. It's going to be completely different from what we saw the first time. I don't know. What was?
Might have been.
Huh?
Was that? I don't know. I'm not gonna say that there could be a breakout. I have no idea. We'll just have to see. We will see. And there goes Victor already. That snipe though.
Oh,
okay.
Wow! Right
Okay.
around the rock. It was like he turned midair. That was incredible.
That was incredible.
That was
Beautifully
quite a
done.
good shot. I hope these survivors pop a gen soon because there's someone on hook. There is someone with Victor on their back, and I
Bad.
have not seen a gen fire yet. Okay, Psycho did get unhooked though.
Oh,
No
there's someone
gens.
down there to get that unhook, which means that there should be a gen working down here in theory, but it's not that one.
Tap is taking Victor for a ride there.
Oh,
Bloodlust
and there's the
coming in.
respawn. Ooh, good fake from the Tap there. A little bit of cat and mousing here. I think they're going to deploy. Yeah, there you go. We're deploying Victor right now. And we'll see how Tap plays around this. Okay, one jet. Wait, was that gen in the corrupt zone or was that the free gen? That was the free gen. That wasn't the corrupt zone gen, was it? No, that's not the corrupt zone gen. That was the more central gen. Okay, so central
think
gen
this-
is gone.
Seems like this Tap is coming back with a vengeance from the first match, trying to.
Is Victor setting up for a basement camp?
think
She
that is
pre-placed
exactly what just
she
happened.
pre-placed Victor at the top of the basement. Yes, she did.
They almost got
not
that
an
angle.
but close.
I don't think Charlotte was expecting that. She played into the tree well, but I don't think she was expecting the flashlight attempt. That would have been brutal. That could have been game changing.
Yeah, it could have.
Wow. And Victor's already set up there. They've got at least another minute sitting there. Twins have a pretty good setup, but that 3-gen is not being cared about. However, I don't know if they care about that 3-gen. We have one pallet gone, so this could... Oh, never mind. They're not going to leave Victor camping there for too long. Yeah, they do fix that 3-gen over there, but in all fairness, even if this isn't like a tight 3-gen on this side, you don't always need it. If there's no pallets in the area, a dead zone is good enough. Oh, there is... That's Psycho? Yes, that is
Yeah,
Psycho.
it is. I will say our killer did just learn something incredibly interesting from that flashlight interaction, which is that they're gonna go for it. Maybe they're not gonna be as forward as players who aren't in comp, but if I'm the killer and I see that they were coming for that flashlight, I am gonna be hyper aware of that, and I'm gonna use that to my advantage as much as I can, because that means that someone is not saving or picking up or doing a gen. They are trying to go for a cheeky rescue, which can often backfire.
That's a
Just
good
there on
point.
that.
Oh, okay. They're gonna do the locker play instead. You hear that gen being worked on right there, and they do get the unhook. A lot of stuff going on at the same time here. That's a lot to process. Okay, so there are 2 survivors on that area, and we're trying to reset the Tap. Good body
Nice
block
body
there.
blocking from the Fang.
May not be enough though.
I don't know that Tap's gonna be able to make up any
Oh!
ground here.
They
nope,
don't.
It's
does
'cause-
not.
Because they didn't yell pallet. You gotta scream pallet when you're running into pallets, and then you'll always get it.
There you go. And it is worth noting, I don't remember how many hook states there were last game, but I think there was only 3 hooks. So there's not a, like, Twins don't have to do a lot here to take home the W. Oh, Fang is right there still.
Oh,
no.
Fang,
Oh,
that
no.
oh, that's too bad.
That could. Oh,
This
That's
could
if I were
be-
Charlotte, I would do this too. I'd go right for. Oh, maybe not.
I take the
Nope.
unhook.
Nope.
All right, take the hook here. Oh, the unhook.
Oh! Tap with the unbreakable. That was a nice play.
Oh, that was
man.
so good. Oh, everything makes sense
Beautifully
now.
done. And that's,
It does.
oh,
It does.
that's-
So Fang set themselves up for that
yeah, they did.
distraction, and it worked like a charm.
Because DBD, it all comes down to just buying time for each other. It's about giving your fellow survivors time to work on gens and do what they got to do. So sometimes taking a hook, sometimes clutch plays like this are the thing that's going to give you enough time to get it done in the end.
Ooh, they got hit on something. Oh, no. It is worth noting, you
missed-
still have to break the 3-gen. There's still a 3-gen on the
You,
side.
100%.
But they have given
And-
themselves the chances they need.
Wow.
The hope here is that Jake has been sitting on a gen because Jake is the one player that I don't believe we have seen at all.
That's true.
Psycho had a
That's
reset.
true.
We've seen
Oh, that's
Tap,
Psycho.
we've seen Fang, and we've seen Quentin. I have not seen Jake at all.
So she's going to go for another here. See if we can get that Jonathan Byers. And he's going to go back in the locker because he knows she's all the way down on the other side of the map.
That's Dwight's job. Oh, they snuck someone down here. Speaking of Jake,
Oh.
there they are together, but that is not. That is a 50% gen. Which one is balance landing, I wonder? It looks like it might have been Fang. I don't think she staggered. Nope, she does not. That was not enough distance for it.
Jonathan's going to be picking up that tap, which we
Yep.
just saw.
Yep.
The survivors are doing
Dang
a
it.
really good job here.
They are.
We've got some pallets going on in chat, so they agree with that screaming out pallet, and it worked for Tap.
Sure did. The thing is, it feels like the survivors aren't doing as well as the last team.
Oh, they
But
didn't call
he's-
where Charlotte was.
Oh, no!
This might be lights out. I think
I was
Charlotte
about
only
to-
needs 4
Yeah.
hook states to win this.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was gonna say the thing
no.
is that they're still preventing her from hooking, which is what they need to be doing. But unfortunately, that's so unfortunate.
Yeah. Even if the survivors could still get the 4 out, but I don't think it's gonna be without giving too many hook states to this killer. I don't know. We'll just have to see. That is the 3rd gen. They did pick up the Fangman. We see Psycho over here. They do need to break this 3-gen. That is true. I see people in chat saying they need to break 3-gen. Definitely. If they break
Yep.
the 3-gen, they can definitely win this. But there's a basement hook. They've.
Oh, that's so rough.
It's in the middle of the 3-gen. I don't know what you can do here if you're survivors. This is kind of backbreaking. I mean,
They
there's
were in
definitely outs,
such
but
a good spot.
They
too.
really
It was 1 minute ago that we thought, oh, this is gonna be so good, but that Jake going down to basement is really is a heartbreaker.
yeah,
And
they
it's
got caught
possible
out.
that he's going to progress on that and onto that 2nd stage, I think.
It's very possible. I'm expecting him to at this point. I don't know if anybody's gonna be able to get back there.
I think they
Oh,
have to.
there they are. There's someone going down there. They get off before
Oh.
the 3rd stage, but
Oh, but-
borrowed body blocks coming in. They're not gonna let this
no.
Jake out.
Oh wow. Charlotte using all her mass.
Oh, good job from the tap, getting them a
and
second
that
chance.
DP coming in.
Oh god, that
clutch.
must have been like the wisp of a thread of a second left on that borrowed time.
It really was. It was a smart move setting the tap down there because he was uninjured.
Mhm.
So
Can you make
Pain.mp4 right
anything
here.
happen here?
there is a pallet, but oh, Jake cannot get there.
He didn't yell pallet. No, I don't think he could have gotten there even if he had, to be honest.
No, no.
So it's probably
This
good he
gen is
didn't yell
99s.
pallet.
They're ready. Actually, hold on. Could they? I don't know. Like, if this doesn't get saved, no save, no DS. Okay. They could be back on that hill gen. Yeah, I don't know. Even if they finish these 2 gens back to back here, this is a 4th hook state. I think this is death. I don't know. They can still do it far. They can still try their hardest, but I think this hook solidifies the lead for Mirage. I could be wrong.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker.
That is a heartbreaker.
They were
True.
playing this super well.
Yeah, there's that gen popping. Like they could still easily get a 4 out, even a 3 out here, but
For sure, because that other gen down by the rock is ready to go.
It
It
is
is.
ready to go.
But now it's
99.
deadlocked.
It is
so
deadlocked.
they've got to wait that out.
They get the unhook on Shelby there. Who is up here? Is this Tap? This is Tap. Do you get balanced? Nobody is balanced. Yeah, just Jake just got caught out there They got hit by Victor and then immediately ran into the undetectable Charlotte. Here's Tap.
Tap can take this
Yeah.
down.
Deadlock is up. Tap is, and there you see it. There's that last gen. So Survivors did a good job against these twins, but
They really did.
They really
didn't
did.
they gave a few too many hook states.
But again, this has felt like a very different trial than the last one.
True. They definitely played really strong. Let's
Indeed.
see. Like the twins did a good job here. The Survivors they had a lot of good counterplay. I don't know. This one is harder to analyze. I'm surprised that twins didn't play into their 3-gen harder.
I think we could end up. This could be kind of one of those snowball matches. I think where, as a survivor, you've been playing well the whole time, and you think for sure you've got it.
But it all,
And
at
then
the end,
all
it
of
all
a sudden,
just comes
one
down.
thing will happen, and it can all go terribly wrong. For instance, that Fang taking that hit there was incredibly unfortunate because if she goes down, there is impetus to try and save her because she is not on death hook.
Right.
You know, Tap is fully healed
Jake
now,
is
so
hurt.
that's good for him.
Yeah, Tap has done a
But
good job
Jake is
resetting.
gonna. Oh man,
Oh, and we can hear the Fang there in the distance.
Uh-oh. It might be the snowball
I'm
incoming.
telling you, I think this is one of those things where you think you've got it, but I think our killer is playing this really smartly, and they definitely are.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait, they...
This is
they have to be
difficult
careful.
because
They
they
can get
are-
slugged. We already
Yes,
saw
they
the breakable play.
could.
Ooh, they have this exit gate open, actually.
But Jonathan's, oh, this is
They got the 2 pickups,
Oh.
though.
And the Jake
that's
is up.
impressive. If
They're
Tap
both
can
up.
take a hit here, but
Couldn't body block, unfortunately.
Oh, that is too bad.
Yep, and then we see with the opener. Well, hold on. They can't pick up necessarily because the flashlight is here still. They have to be careful. Okay, never mind. He's got to face away. I don't think it's going to be a flashlight save. Really good job. This is death hook for Shelby, but this is still going to be a 3-up for these Survivors.
Where is that Fang?
I think,
She might be on the other exit gate.
yeah, I think if they had picked up the Fang facing the wall
they go,
to
they're all
avoid a
out.
flashlight, I think that hooking that Fang might have gotten them a couple more hooks even. But that end game was tense.
It was.
We never saw it come into play, but we had force pedants. This was I was surprised they brought this, but it has use. It has use. I like it. So, oh man, yeah. No, Survivors played really, really good. I believe that I want to say that How Did We Get Here is a bit newer to the comp scene. I remember I think I remember seeing them last season, but they still sound like a bit of a not necessarily like inexperienced, but they sound like they're newer to the comp scene. So honestly, really good job because I think Mirage is a bit of a. I think Mirage is different names, but I think they've been around the scene a little bit. So really good job that match. They did a really good. For a team that is newer to the comp scene, they did a really good job against the Twins. I think they did really, really
yes,
good.
they did.
Got
In
the
my
3-up.
mind, that Tap pallet unbreakable play was like the
It was-
play of the day so
it
far.
was-
That was so beautifully executed.
It really
Because
was.
none of us saw that coming.
Oh yeah, for sure. I did. I mean, I don't know the Survivor perks. I tend to not look too into it. So, oh man, yeah. I believe that was Survivors won that trial 16-14, but I do believe with the score being the way it is, I believe Mirage still comes out on top in that second set, and so sets 1 and 2 and the game point are going to go to Mirage. If I believe that's correct. I don't have a rep here to verify, but I believe that is the outcome of this game.
That was incredibly close.
Oh yeah, that was good.
That was a nail biter.
I mean, it was totally well played by both teams.
Mhm.
They both brought forth everything they could, and it was certainly really interesting to see both teams playing the same killers
Yep.
on the same map. So it was
Mhm.
so differently.
but so differently.
The killer, especially the killer, played differently because we saw Victor come out and get that first hit and that first down much faster.
Mhm.
Which
That might have
Which
been a
was
little bit of the lead up to the way that game went, because in the previous
Yeah.
one they threw every pallet to make sure that didn't happen. And I think that was the reason they did, is as soon as you get that first hit, deploy Victor, slug that person, shoot Victor onto somebody else, take that hook, and
Yeah.
that's how you start your game.
exactly.
So
That was incredible.
It
Yeah, that was
really
good.
was.
Well done to both teams.
Indeed.
And with that, we've got about another 25 minutes for our next set. Match. There we go. Anyway, so that was Mirage versus How Do We Get Here. Mirage did come out on top, and they are going to be getting the 3 points there. Next up, we have Sample Text and Shadow Wolves, and JuniKoh will be joining us again. But until then, JuniKoh, how can we find you? Tell us.
Well, we're so glad you asked.
Where's that
if you
plug?
go to twitch.tv/JuniKoh, you can see us there. The reason you should come hang out, I'm going to be shameless right now. The reason you should come hang out is because when we play DBD and stream, we stream with a dual cam system, which means you get to watch both of us play the match at the same time. We switch between scenes, so if one of us is being chased, the scene is primarily focused on that person. If the other one is being chased, it's on that person. And when both of us are sitting on gens doing nothing, making silly jokes, you can see both of us.
It's true.
It's a pretty cool and unique thing, and if you like cheese and puns, you should check us out.
And mediocre gameplay.
And mediocre gameplay with lots of sass.
This is why I wanted to have
twitch.tv/JuniKoh.
them on. If you guys like competitive DBD broadcasts, I'm not kidding. It's very similar, but instead of competitive DBD, it's just like streamer pub DBD, but it's that same like broadcast vibe. It's really, really cool. I think you guys get a kick out of it. So
It's really fun. Thank you.
so
they're
we're-
asking for the final score. Let's
Yes,
let me
they
check
are.
that final score real quick. Let's go back to the casting screen real quick. Nobody's here. So we have How Did We Get Here with 49 and Mirage with 72. Thank you for that. I am so sorry for not giving you that final score. I will make sure to do that next time. But yeah, GG to Mirage. That is all we have for this match. We will be back in about 20-25 minutes with the next one. And you've been watching Champions of the Fog. I'm littlerugaard. This has been JuniKoh, and we will be back shortly. Thank you for watching.
Thanks.